As you can see, we've got quite a good bit of space here. This silage tarp, which is blocking off all the weeds, is 8 meters by width and 28 meters by length. We've got a couple of options open to us. I mean, ultimately, as with all things, you're completely open to do it however you want to do it. But the way that I look at it is we've got two primary ways that we can style this vegetable patch. We can either go 7 beds that are going to be 28 meters long, or we can go 23 beds that are going to be 8 meters across, working all the way up. And I'll spend some time with you inside. 1 second. What's up, darling? What is that? Oh, you bring it over here? We're talking to the people about how we're going to have our vegetable patch. Do you want to help me? Good. You love the vegetable patch, me too. So we're going to be doing 23 beds, which will give us enough space for paths on either side. The reason why is it means that we can let beds sleep if we need them to sleep. We can, go at our own pace in terms of making the beds. Now, it would be helpful for me to mark out exactly how I'm going to do this with the string and everything, and I'll save that for a future episode, which is going to involve me, many sticks that I find around the garden, lots of string, and we'll mark all of this out so that it makes it the full bed, and then we can put down the compost in the beds, and we can put down, the cardboard, the compost, and then we can put down something as a weed suppressant, probably going to be the wood chips that we can find. So let's get inside, let's look at the growing plan, and let's work out what's going where for the year ahead. Come on in, baby. Come in. Yeah, we're going to go inside and look at the plants. Oh. Can you say, don't forget to like and subscribe? Ready? You say it? Can you say it? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good job. That's fantastic. Come on then. Ultimately, when it comes to planning for what we're going to have in the beds and in the garden, there's a lot of ways that can be done. You can sit down with a pen and paper, draw your rectangle, draw your beds out, and then look through your seed packets and work out what exactly it is that you want to have in your beds, work out the planning schedule, and do everything from there. However, the way that I've done it, the way that we're doing it this year, is we're leveraging artificial intelligence. We're using Gemini. We've taken a photo of the bed. We've talked through on how exactly we want the beds to be laid out. It's helped us with deciding on what types of beds, the size of the beds, the benefits of one method over another. And also it's talked us through what we need in terms of compost, what we need in terms of wood chips, which is a lot particularly as we're going to be setting these beds out from zero for the year ahead. So this first year is going to be very high in terms of cost, but if we do it right and we use the right quality compost, we should be setting ourselves up for success for many years to come. What that also allowed us to do was to individually put in all of the different seed packets and seeds that we have for the year ahead. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there are a lot of seed packets, whether we pick them up from Real Seeds, which is one of our favourite places to buy seeds from. They're awesome. They grow their seeds here in the UK, actually in Wales, I believe is where they are. We've got a ton of their stuff here, and I thoroughly recommend that you would visit the Real Seeds website if you're looking to buy seeds. We've also got some seeds from DT Brown. We've got a load that I picked up for peanuts from B&Q, believe it or not. I saw them on a seriously reduced offer and could not help myself. And then we've got some that we picked up through Dobbies, such as the Swiss chards and so on. So there's a good mixture of seed here. A lot of it is from Real Seeds, so that is small growers, open pollinated. We're going to be able to get seeds from a lot of this stuff, and we're going to be able to grow and use the seeds that it gives us, continue growing for as long as we want. I mean, ultimately for generations to come, if we so wish. The deep red sunflower I've got here, this will be the third year that we've been using their seed. So from their first packet that we bought, we've then created and dried our own seed from it. I do need to get better at keeping the seeds afterwards. So hopefully what this will do is it'll give me motivation to actually make sure that I do that. Not just with the easy things like your peas and your beans and tomatoes, but also with more difficult things like your carrots and your onions, your broccoli, and working how we can ensure that we continue to keep the seeds. So got a lot there that we can use for the next couple of years. We've then got some F1 varieties that we have in here, primarily from the stock that we bought from B&Q, but an F1 variety means that we aren't able to keep the seeds. So for instance, this courgette and cucumber, they're both F1 varieties. So the first year they should grow true, they should grow really well. We'll see, because we're in Scotland and cucumber and courgettes are not the best for outdoor growing when it's particularly cold. It does limit us, so it means next year we wouldn't be able to then take the seed that we've kept from those and reuse it. We want to get to a point ultimately where we've got our own seed that we've been growing for years, because what the seed does is it will grow in the soil, you'll then harvest it, and then that seed that you put in the next year, so say you put the peas in for the second year, what it's done while growing in your soil, it essentially makes it more efficient at growing in your ground. So every year your seeds are more and more productive and prolific in your ground because the seed is essentially changing to be better at growing in your soil. We're not, I'm not afraid of using technology particularly to help me, given the amount of time we have in the day with lots of children and lots of things happening. I have absolutely no issue with using this, and it's worked out for us a planting plan for all 23 beds that we're going to be establishing, putting them into sections that make sense, also talking through where we should be intercropping, where we should be succession planning and planting, and what we should be getting in the ground sooner rather than later. So to that end, I'll flash up on the screen for you. Here is a picture of the beds, the different sections that it's laid out for us so that you can have an idea of where different things are going to go. As with all of this, we're going to be testing and adjusting as we go. We'll let you know how we get on. The bed is in a really good place in terms of for the sunlight, so there's sun there from morning till night. You'll get sun where the bed's laid. We just need to ensure that we can provide the right requirements for all of this to have all of these 8-meter beds growing and a serious number of vegetables to help keep us fed. And then so begins the journey of us trying to ensure that we can actually store it properly so that when it comes to the winter, we'd be able to get out our canned beans from earlier in the year to have in our food, or frozen carrots, or however we want to store things, to ensure that we're still getting fresh, nutritious food, even when the ground isn't producing for us and when the ground is actually resting. Ready for the next spring and the next year ahead. We're going to plant our first seeds of the season. We're going to have these chili seeds with Mia's help. And all I'm doing is using one of these container-wise containers. This is actually one of the Charles Dowding ones. If you are in the market for seed trays, I strongly suggest you get onto container-wise. They give you robust seed trays that will literally last your lifetime. Now, my famous implement, the old pencil. Now, Mia Bear is going to pick them up one at a time, and she's going to drop one in each of those small holes.
I got one.
Good job, Princess. Here we go.
Which one?
Whichever one you want, baby.
Done.
Nice. Now, to cover it up. So push it in. That's it. Good. Now we know that one's been done, don't we? Okay, you do the next one then.
Not all of you.
Not all of them. Good. Once that's in, then do it up. Nice. Next one. That's really good.
Ooh.
Good job. And drop that one in the next hole. Okay, you're kind of going for random holes, but that's also fine. Good job, baby. Straight in. That's the 17 chilies in. I'm going to just leave them in the sun for a bit while I sort out getting the garage in order. We've got some bits and pieces to get ready in there to tidy it all up. But then we'll leave these somewhere nice and warm with a good bit of light, and we'll be able to track their growth and progress in the coming weeks. Quick week 2 update on the chicks before we sign off. So you can see here, and I'll bring them nice and close to you. So she's bigger in size, and I'll get my mug to do a little comparison for it so you can see. But also a lot of her plumage instead of the really fluffy day-old bits and pieces that you can see. But now look at all those feathers that are growing in. So this is, oh, she's done a lovely poo on me, which is good. So this is now week 2 on the chicks. You know, they're growing at a good rate. They're getting their feathers in. They're certainly picking up in terms of size and weight. They're still in underneath the heat lamp to stay warm at night, but they're really doing very well. It's only a couple more months now and they'll be ready to be producing eggs for us. Just a quick thank you from us for joining us on this episode of the Hardy Hatchlings. I'm conscious there has been a lot of talking, a lot of planning, a lot of bits and pieces, less around actual activity of us doing things. If you've stuck this far, then really hope that you will, like this video, subscribe, do all the bits and pieces that we need to keep growing. Have a fantastic week ahead. Bye for now.